Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Lewis Hancock, and I am a freelance managed service provider here in the Augusta area. And I wanted to talk to you guys this afternoon about the specifics of what a managed service provider is, and then go over some of the statistics that I have here that regards the actual services I provide. So first off, a managed service provider is pretty much as the name suggests. It is a person or a company who provides a specific service and they manage it for the company that they're providing the service to. In my case, it's more along the lines of cybersecurity and information technology. Um, I go in to a company, I look at the state of the company, the way their IT is being run, and I look to see exactly where does the company stand? What needs to be done in order to bring this company up to speed on cybersecurity, make sure that they're secure, and lower, if not eliminate, the risk of them actually being the victims of a cyber attack. I'm sure you guys have heard in the news all the different attacks going on. Everybody hears about Sony, Microsoft, companies like that getting attacked all the time. Normally, it's along the lines of a dedicated denial of service attack, in which case you have multiple machines all attacking, sending information to one server in order to bring the server offline because they overload it. And it's a lot more in depth than that, but that's the basics of it. And we hear about this all the time. I mean, every year, especially around Christmas, things like this happen. We've heard about it with Blizzard. We've heard about it, like I said, with Sony, Microsoft. Activision's been hit before. I mean, Amazon's been hit as well before. And it's a major thing. So, personally, this is what I love. I love going in and making sure that these businesses are very well taken care of, and that at the end of the day, they have a lot less to worry about when it comes to their IT, and making sure that they are very happy with what has happened that day. So, a lot of people ask me, well, why? What do we really need to worry about it? Well, I mean, like I said, look at all the attacks we've had recently coming up. The WannaCry virus, the Petra virus. We've had so many of these issues lately, and it's really become a major deal, guys. And Hiscox Cyber released a readiness report just earlier this year. And for this report, they surveyed 3,000 different companies. Not 3,000 different stores for one company, but 3,000 different companies, and that was regardless of whether they had multiple stores or not. And these companies were mainly located in the United States, the United Kingdoms, and Germany. And they found at the end of this report that only 53% of these companies were actually prepared to handle a cyber attack should one happen. And even fewer than that were actually what we would consider a cybersecurity expert, in which case means they know what to expect, what they're going to do to manage it, and exactly what might happen in the event of such an attack. And then, the other question I have people ask me too is, what does such an attack cost? Can it really be that bad? Well, how much it costs per company really depends on what the company does, but I can tell you this. No matter what your company does, any cybersecurity breach that you have is going to cost your company a lot of money. It's going to happen. I mean, a lot of the times, especially nowadays in the world that we live in, where technology is such a big deal, so much information is kept on company machines, credit card information, addresses, customer client names, vendor names. Um, I mean, I think I said phone numbers, maybe even family members' names, maybe possibly medical histories if your business handles medical issues and things like that, or insurance agencies are a big one. Um, these are all things that cyber attackers, cyber criminals can actually get a hold of, and this is stuff that is very very big. You know, when you run a business, the last thing you want is for anybody to get a hold of that information, because all of that can be used not to harm not only your company but also the people that that trust you to keep their information safe. And people people don't understand that it's a very very major deal, because not only is this could this potentially cost you money, but it could, people don't understand that the loss of money may not come immediately. The loss of money may come in a different form. Um, let's say you have Sally Mae down the road that buys something from you every so often, and they always pay with a card, and their information is in your machine, in your company computer. Well, let's say you get attacked. Okay, well that's not that's definitely not a good thing. But let's say when you were attacked, the attacker got a hold of Sally Mae's information, maybe their credit card information, or maybe they didn't get a hold of it. Maybe they got a hold of her phone number. So maybe now they're going to call Sally Mae and pretend to be you, and pretend to be your company or somebody from your company, calling her to say that something didn't work the last time that she ordered from you. And so as a result, they need her to provide her credit card information to them over the phone so it can be put back in the system. And Sally Mae decides, okay, well, let's do that. And she gives them her information. Now they have her credit card information. And guys, with credit card information, it doesn't mean they're going to go down to the bank and try and withdraw money from it. Honestly, that doesn't happen that often. What happens more often than not is a cyber criminal would take that credit card information and they'll go and buy stuff, whether it may be from Steam or they may be going on Walmart or a website like that, or Amazon or eBay, and they may be buying stuff with this person's information, because on those websites the only things that are required are the card number, the security code, and I mean really that's it, guys. If they have her address, then they have pretty much everything that they need. They already have her name. So I mean, they could go up there and before she knows it, she's got no money left, and they could be left leaving her with debt. And you may wonder exactly how this affects the business, yourself. Well, this cyber criminal called her pretending to be from your company. So as a result, now she realizes she just got screwed over. All of her money's gone. Well, she believes that this person came from your company. So who is she not going to trust anymore? You. She's not going to want to do business with you anymore. You just lost all of her information. It's very important. And on average, this is something you hear a lot in business training nowadays, is that on average, one person will tell 10 people that they know personally, and they will tell them about the experience they had. If they had a bad experience, that's now 10 people, guys, that are less likely to purchase from you in the future. But keep in mind, guys, that with the introduction of social media, they will still tell those 10 people that they know closely, that they maybe hang out with. But now they'll probably go on social media and post on their social media about her experience or their experience with you. And with the introduction of social media, the number of people who get to hear that bad review about you jumps from 10 to now on average 50 people. That is 50 people, guys, who are less likely, if not never, to buy from you. That is 50 potential customers you just lost because of one event. And it's very it's very important that you make sure that you protect your business. So, going back to the cost, just 2016 alone, cyber crimes cost the global economy $450 billion. $450 billion. That is a lot of money. And over 2 billion people in 2016 had their medical records stolen. And of those 2 billion, over 100 million of them came from the United States alone. So for those of you who work in the medical field, keep in mind cybersecurity is even a larger part of your business. You have to protect your customers. You have vital information about your customers locked up inside your computers. It is very, very, very vitally important that you protect that. So, moving on, also in 2016, Symantec, which, for those of you who don't know, Symantec is a very, very big company in the antivirus protection world. Most of you will probably recognize them from Norton Antivirus. And they released a report that shows that small businesses have increasingly become targets of cybercrime over the years. In fact, as of 2015, 43% of all cybercrime is against small businesses, which means that approximately 1 in 40 small businesses are at risk of being attacked. Now, the problem with, this 1 in 40 number, I've told people about this, and they go, well, that's just 1 in 40. That's a decently low chance. But you gotta understand that, A, you don't know which 1 in 40 it could be. It might not be your business, it might be your business. But the other thing you have to keep in mind is that number, that 43% increases every single year. And so that's a very, very big thing to keep in mind, is that while it's only 43% now, within 2 years' times, 43% could be 60% of small businesses being attacked. And it will no longer be that 1 in 40. It's going to, it's going to be a much lower number, meaning that more small businesses are at risk of being attacked. And, the big question I have from people when I tell them this, well, why? Why are small businesses being attacked more and more? Well, the very big reason is that, on average, small business owners assume that because they are a small business, hackers are not interested in them. They believe that hackers are only interested in bigger corporations such as Amazon, Blizzard, Activision, Sony, Microsoft, companies like that. And the problem is, while that used to be true, it's not the case anymore, because it leads me to my next point. That assumption leads small business owners to spend less on their cybersecurity. And because hackers know that these small businesses are spending, less money on cybersecurity, they know that they are easier targets. And while a hacker may not actually get as much money from a smaller businesses, the thing you have to keep in mind, guys, is that this lack of security leads to a less chance of the hacker actually being caught. And because small business owners spend less on their cybersecurity, what these hackers are doing to make up for the fact that they don't get as much from a single small business as they would from, say, hacking Amazon, What they do instead is they'll attack multiple businesses all at one time in order to make up for that, that loss from not attacking Amazon or Blizzard and companies like that. And so that this is a very, very big thing, guys. It's a big, huge area, and small business owners need to really start focusing on this, because it's really, really getting up there to the point where small business owners can't sit idle anymore. They need to start taking action. They need to start working on getting cybersecurity in place, in their businesses. Make sure that their employees understand the importance of cybersecurity in the workplace, and make sure that they have proper steps and procedures in place to protect the business in the event of a cybersecurity attack. This is all stuff that this is stuff that I handle on a day-to-day basis. I go to businesses, I look at how their devices are set up, how their network's set up, what security software they're using, how are their employees trained, do their employees even have training? And on average, I find that a lot of small businesses, their employees have no training. Their computers have little to no security on them at all. They don't have regular checkups done on their systems for viruses, malware, ransomware. Ransomware is not usually a big one, but you know what, guys? I have actually seen a couple of cases where they've had ransomware on a computer and they left it. They didn't do anything to it. They said, well, we can do without that computer, and they just left it over there. And I don't get it, guys, because that ransomware could be stealing your computer. The faster you get rid of that issue, the better. Because, and I'm not going to give the business's name, but just 2 weeks ago, I was at a business, and I walked in, and I ran a scan through all of their computers on the network, looking for any issues. Guys, I found so many issues on all of them. Well, it wasn't even funny, but the one that really got me was over in the corner. There's a computer, and I could see it was on. And I asked the business owner about it, and I said, well, what's up with that computer? Because I could tell they hadn't done anything to it in a while. There was dust on the keyboards and dust on the screen and everything. And he told me, he said, well, it got a really bad virus on it, and so we just put it in the corner, and we didn't want to do anything to it. And so I asked him, I said, can I look at it? He said, sure. So I bring it up, and sure enough, it had ransomware on it. The whole screen was locked up, couldn't do anything. It was asking for $850 in order to unlock it. And I just couldn't get it, guys, because they left this computer sitting in the corner of the office on this entire time. And I couldn't understand why they would just leave this sitting there like that, because it's such a it irks me. And I got everything cleaned up for them, and I've got them set up with a new system now that protects their businesses a lot more than what they were doing previously. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop our video here today, guys. And I'll be uploading another one here in the future where I'll actually be talking more in depth about different types of viruses and things to look for, and I'm going to be doing these videos every so often in order to go through and try to get the word out there about cybersecurity, guys, because this is a very, very important issue that I want everybody to be aware of, especially, any of you small business owners watching this. Please, please, please pay attention to what I'm saying. I'm doing this to benefit everybody. And if you have any questions, either in regards to something that I say in my video, or if you have any questions about the service that I actually provide, feel free to, if you have any questions in general about something I've said in my videos, you want more information about something I've stated in my videos, feel free to leave a go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section down below, and go ahead and ask your question there. If the question is more personal along the lines of something that's happened to your business, feel free to send me a private message. I will answer them all as soon as I possibly can. I promise you. If you have questions about the service I provide, also feel free to send me a private message. And like I said, I'll get back to them as soon as I can. So it was great talking to you guys today. And I do look forward to doing another one of these videos in the future. So you guys, you've been great. And, I'm enjoying myself here. So I am going to go ahead and sign off. Y'all have a wonderful day.